Roger Federer is one of only 6 athletes to cross $1 billion in career earnings while still active. The part you didn't know? He left behind a $10 million annual sponsorship deal with Nike and turned it into a $600 million plus payday. Here's the wild story. Let's start in 2018. Roger Federer had been with Nike for more than 20 years, becoming one of the most decorated athletes in sports history with 20 Grand Slam titles. But when it came time to renew his $10 million annual sponsorship deal with Nike, things got interesting. Nike had a loaded roster of tennis players: Serena Williams, Rafael Nadal, Maria Sharapova, Nick Kyrgios. And there is an unwritten rule in the world of sponsorships. You don't spend over 10% of overall revenue on athlete sponsorship deals. Nike ultimately decided to protect their margins, letting the 36-year-old legend walk. The result? Federer shocked the world, signing a massive 10-year, $300 million deal with Uniqlo, or 3 times more than the $10 million Nike was paying him annually. But that's only part of the story. Roger Federer's $300 million deal with Uniqlo included 2 unique stipulations. First, the agreement didn't have a retirement clause, meaning Federer would earn $30 million at age 46, even if he retired 5 years prior. Even better, the deal only covered apparel, not shoes. So, without a shoe deal in place, Roger Federer continued to wear Nikes without being paid for it. But after discovering footwear brand On Running while training, Federer made an even bigger bet. He signed an equity deal and became a global ambassador for the Swiss brand. Including his initial investment and marketing fees, Roger Federer reportedly owns about 3% of the brand. The craziest part? Just 2 years later, On Running has gone public, and the business is valued at $10 billion. That means Federer's stake is now worth about $300 million. To summarize, Roger Federer was being paid about $10 million annually by Nike, but he ditched that sponsorship in 2018 and ended up with 2 deals that are now worth a combined $600 million plus. Not bad for a 40-year-old tennis player. Roger Federer has built one of the most impressive brands in sports history. He only played in 1 event last year, but still brought home $90 million, making him the 7th highest paid athlete globally. Yet, only $300,000 of the $90 million came from tennis events. Now that's wild.